Hi everyone. Thank you so much for coming into the live chat that I'm going to do with Nouri, Noura Khedr. Let me just quickly add her onto our stream. So we're going to be chatting about um, Egyptian queens. And we can get started. Waiting for the obelisk girl. Hi everyone. Hi, thanks for joining. Javier, hi. Um, Nouri, you have to accept. I'm here. I can't seem to accept. Okay, everyone, Nouri is trying to accept.
I am.
So,
Here I
hello.
am. Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you? Look at you and all what's on the background. Show me a little bit. Yeah. What do we have in here? Look at that. You're awesome.
Thank you. You look great.
Thank you. Thank you so much. How's
So,
everything? All good? You've
all
got
good. We
all
have
our queens?
all the
Yeah.
queens, Nefertiti, Nefertari, Queen
Yes.
T. We have
Do I
Hathor
see
over there.
tea? Is that tea? Oh, yeah.
That's Queen T, yeah, over
Yeah.
there.
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
That statue
Awesome.
of Queen T is like 100 years old. A friend of mine in Luxor, his grandfather made it from wood.
Oh, really?
So,
That's really
yeah,
nice.
so
I have a story with tea. I have to tell you the story. I was standing in a
tell me.
museum where the whole of Akhenaten is, where Akhenaten
Yeah.
collection is, and I was just explaining, and I was so into the thing, and all of a sudden, one of the ladies she said, "Oh my God, Nori," and I'm like, "Did I say something wrong?" And then she said, "Look at the curls of this lady. Who is she?" It was the head of tea right behind me, and I just didn't notice at all. And she said, "She looks exactly like you." And I'm like, "No." And then she insisted, and then everybody insisted. And then now I'm a bit convinced that I look like tea a little bit, but I'm not sure.
Do. I mean, you've seen T's mummy. I think Queen T
Yes.
has just got a beautiful mummy.
Oh, yes,
And
that's
she's
true.
just
Yes.
got this hair. It's like,
It's a little bit awkward when we say a beautiful mummy, but I love it. Yes, it's one of the most beautiful mummies, as well as
it
Yoya
is.
and Toya. Yes, 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 it is.
Her mummy is just, I mean, her mummy is just so, like, when you see it, you can actually see sort of what she would have looked
Yes,
like.
exactly. Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes.
And I mean, for Egyptian queens, usually they had shaved heads and then they wore the wigs.
That's true.
So for Queen T
But
to
you
have
see,
this
yeah,
long, beautiful,
yes,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
that's
you're
one of the
right. Yes, you are absolutely right. Hi, Selma. Everybody's
hi,
laughing. I love that. Hello, everybody. So we're ready
hi
today.
Arif.
So,
Yeah. So which queen shall we get started with? Hmm.
uh, what about starting chronologically? Let's go like from the beginning.
From the beginning. Okay. Shall we start with the first female
Okay.
pharaoh, or shall we start with the one of the most known queens, like mother of a king?
Mother of a king.
Mother of a king. Okay. It
Yes.
depends.
Yeah. Mother of a king. Yes. Hi, Yasmina.
Exactly.
Hi,
Hi,
Chen.
Yasmina.
Yalla,
So,
let's
mother
start.
of a
Come on.
king would be
Yes.
Heta Perez. I think she, Matthias, sorry, yes, from the beginning. Yes, Matthias.
From the beginning. Yes,
Um,
Matthias. Yes.
so, yes, Heta Perez, which
Yeah.
means the the happy offering, I think. That's what
Yeah.
her name
Had it.
translates as.
That is
Heta
right.
Perez.
Yeah.
She's the mother of Khufu.
Khufu. Yes. Absolutely right. And we
And
found
you've,
a huge number of her collection,
hmm,
actually most of her funeral collection, and it's now
yeah,
exhibited in the Egyptian Museum. It's one of the most beautiful collections ever, especially the
yeah.
canopic jars, but we can talk about that later. It's very plain and simple, but I love it.
Lord Slee has asked what year. So that's about 4,500 years ago.
That's around 2600 BC, more or less.
Yeah.
100 BC, more or less, yes.
Yes. So yeah, about 4,600 years.
Yes. So tell us more about Khedr Harris.
Yeah. So Heta Perez, mother of Khufu, and her items that we have are so well preserved. I mean, her whole bedroom, basically.
Yes.
And we know that she had some very important titles, such as the mother of the god king, which is a very important one,
Yeah, but
mistress of the two lands.
not everybody held that title. I mean, like it was a very, very important title, but not everybody held that title. Not all the queen mothers or the mothers held that title.
Exactly. And she also had mistress of the two lands, which we know from the back of her
Yes,
chair.
the chair,
And
yes.
mistress of the two lands, I think she inherited that title from her husband, Snefru.
Snefru.
Yes, I
Do
think so.
you ever get that? For sure, yes. Do you ever get that question? Why her carrying chair, that wooden one, which is mostly restored nowadays, why is it so tiny? Why ancient Egyptians at that time they were so tiny? Do you ever get that question a lot? I get it all the time.
You know, like I was chatting to Sophia Aziz the other day
Yes,
about exactly this,
she's
about why.
beautiful. Sophia, you're
Oh,
beautiful, Sophia. Oh my God.
she
Yes.
is.
Hi,
Uh,
Sophia.
Arif, thank you. I'm so happy you like the Nefertari documentary. We're going to get to Nefertari in a little bit. Um,
Yes.
but yeah, I think, you know, I don't think they had time to grow up too much.
Well,
Oh,
I
hi,
like that stage.
Sophia.
Hi, Sophia. Here you are. Here you
We just
are.
chatted
We
about.
were we were just talking about you. Hi, Salma. Yeah, so let's focus in order
So,
not to distract everybody here. Yeah, Hatib
yes,
Harris and
yes.
her collection. Yes.
And we have those beautiful bracelets, you know, of hers made out of silver.
Oh, the silver ones.
Yes, with the butterflies on it. And I just have a feeling that maybe her birthday was in the spring, which is why we have the butterflies on the bracelet. Because a
Oh,
butterfly is something quite unique.
yes, that's true, but I never thought of it this way. However, I love the idea. I love the theory. Yes.
Yeah. Lovely to see you guys, both looking fabulous. You too, Sophia.
You too,
I can't see you,
Sophia.
but I'm pretty sure you are.
We love you, Sophia. You're gorgeous.
Next
Yes,
time,
exactly.
next time we need to do one with Sophia.
Yes.
Yes. Um, but it's interesting to talk about queens of Egypt because the title queen didn't actually exist,
Exist.
as we're
Yes.
just talking about Tete Perez's titles.
Yes, that is true. Was never
I think
mentioned in ancient Egypt or anything like that. Yeah, at all.
it's also like king wasn't really mentioned. Um, we do have the lady of the two lands, which we know the Pharaoh was called the Lord of the two lands.
Yes, Nebtawi. Yeah.
Which kind of shows that the woman were on the same that the wife was on the same level as the husband. You know, Lord and Lady.
Yes. Yes, I totally
Yeah.
agree with this as well. And I believe the title king at that time did not refer to the gender itself. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. Both at the time when they used to rule Egypt, whether you're a man or a woman, they used the title king. Later on, it became to be Pharaoh, and that's another story that we can discuss with the people later on. Let's keep them excited.
Exactly. Exactly. If we look at someone like the mother of Pepi II,
Yeah.
she ruled on behalf of her son for so many years because he was just a child, like a baby.
Yes.
Um, and that's also where we get the title Lady of the Two
The
Lands.
Lady of the Two Lands.
Yeah, North and South. So I don't think they had a problem with a woman being, a pharaoh. Sophia, what was that question? Let me go back. Sophia's asking,
Any
how do I go back?
evidence that Nefertari had a pet cat?
A pet cat? Huh. I don't believe so. The only pet cat that I think we know of that was documented is Prince Thutmose, brother of
I've
Akhenaten.
lost you for a second. No.
You
Yeah,
back?
you're here. Yes, I'm back. Yes,
Yes.
I didn't hear you.
So I
I
think the
haven't
only
heard of
example
any
is
pet cats related to Nefertari
Nefertari.
at all.
Well, unless you count
No,
Ramses lion,
I'm sorry.
unless you count Ramses lion,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. Topic.
she probably did have a few pet cats. Yeah,
But nothing
because
tangible, like nothing that we know of or about. I haven't heard that before, but maybe. Have you heard anything like that, Sophia? Ever? Did you ever
let
come
us know.
across such a thing?
I think the only example of a royal that we have is Tutmosis, of the brother of Akhenaten, with his pet cat.
I'm sorry. Which
Is
Tutmosis?
brother of Akhenaten.
Ah,
Yeah, because
that's
we
right.
know
I
he buried his.
remember that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that is right.
So
A lion will
yeah,
do,
it's
Sophia, for sure. Yeah.
a lion will do. I think it's more impressive than a cat.
Yeah.
But like we were saying about Pepi II's
Maybe the
mother,
second month. Yeah.
she ruled Egypt basically as a pharaoh.
Yeah. For how
Yeah,
long was that?
until his son. I think she ruled for about 10 years until he was actually old enough, because I
And then
think he was
Pippi,
2
yeah,
years
took
old.
over. Yeah.
Yeah,
But he ruled
yeah.
for so long. I mean, like this guy, he ruled for so long.
When's he gonna die?
Yes, exactly. The time was unbelievable. His era was an era of chaos, a bit of chaos and lots of disorder at that time.
Exactly. And then the drought started during his reign, and
Yes,
it's just
yes,
a
it was
nightmare.
just, and then all the art of the Middle Kingdom art started, which is completely different from the Old
Have,
Kingdom.
have you ever looked at a piece of art from the Middle Kingdom, specifically the first intermediate period, and gone, this looks like a fake because it's so ugly?
Yes, it's so ugly. I don't want to say ugly, but it's so ugly compared to what you see
It
dating
is.
back to the Old Kingdom. Oh my God, like during the time of the Old Kingdom, everything, it was all about perfection. And oh my God, like Catherine's statue in the museum. You know this one, like the
Exactly.
dear right one. Like, and you look at this one,
Yes.
and then you go and check
With Horace behind.
Mentuhotep. Yes, exactly. And then you go and check the black, red, and white statue of Mentuhotep Nebhat Bra, and like, oh my God, what
His
happened to the
legs.
art? God's sake. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Thank goodness
I
I
hope
didn't
you guys
picture
are enjoying this. I hope.
Andrews, Tanya, hi. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, as we move on from Heteperes, the mother of Pepi II, we
yeah.
get to Ahmose Nefertari. No, before Ahmose
Nefer.
Nefertari. Sobek Neferu.
Sobek Neferu. I was going to jump to Titi Shiri right away, but that's a big jump. Yes, Sobek
Big
Neferu.
jump.
Yeah, that's a big jump. Yes, yes, yes. I'll leave the Sobek
So
Neferu to you, Curtis.
Sobek Neferu, the beautiful one of Sobek,
Yes.
she is one of the first, probably the first example of a female taking on the role, the full role as a king.
Okay.
Um, her father, Amunimhat
Monimhat
the third, Amunimhat the
third.
third,
Yeah.
had died. Her brother had died. Her brother had no children, and she was the only one left.
Yes, from the royal blood. That's why she had to take over. Yes.
Exactly. And she started ruling the country and running things for about 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, never more than that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that, oh, thanks. I'm glad you're enjoying,
Thank
Sophia.
you. Thank you, Sophia.
Only Egypt History. They joined as well. Hi. I love that
Thank
page.
you, Matthias.
Um, yes, so Sobek Neferu, she didn't really do anything too monumental during her time, apart from
No,
keep keep sort of peace and keep Egypt from falling into a decline.
but that's a very, very big thing. I mean, like ruling for 2 years, a big empire or a big country like Egypt, maintaining peace, order, that
Hard
is a big
job.
thing. But yeah, yeah, that's a very, very hard job. Like some other pharaohs and kings, they couldn't maintain peace or good relation to the neighbors. But that's a big thing. It's all about her
Exactly.
monuments. We don't have much about this lady, and nothing monumental as you've mentioned.
And unfortunately, all the statues we have of her are either headless or extremely badly damaged. We don't know what she really looked like.
Yeah, but do you think the one who took over after her is the one who did that, or is it like erosion, or is it earthquakes, or what is it? What do you think?
I think they took out her images because you can see on her statues, you can see she has breasts, but she's
Yeah,
wearing the nemes.
yeah.
So I think when they saw that, they were like, no,
No, no, disagree, huh? Disagree.
yeah, they took
Yes.
her out. Salma.
Salma Hamed. Hiya, Salma, again. How are you? What is the question?
What a beautiful story you guys heard in ancient Egyptian history. A beautiful story that we heard. What's the most beautiful story you've heard, Nori?
Well, I don't know if I can call it a beautiful story, but for me, it's really hard to accept. I have a huge love for Tutmosis the Third, unbelievable,
Uh-huh.
unconditional love for Tutmosis the Third. And one of the stories that I know it's for real and it's not fake at all. Like, first of all, let's admit that this guy was like the lord of tactics and war in ancient Egypt. Until now, people, they in like the military schools and things like that, they teach them the art of war from the time of Tutmosis the Third. I have
Yeah.
heard that there was a British general. His name is Edmund Allenby, who used to live in Egypt during the British occupation here. And he was based in, I don't want to take the people from the main subject that we're talking about, but I'll be very quick and fast. So, anyways, this guy, this general, used to live, he was based in Suez, where the Suez Canal is. And he heard about Tutmosis the Third, and that he was like the lord of tactics and war, and he used to take the narrowest path and roads, easily ambushed. But if he managed to succeed, he will surprise the enemy from very much of an unexpected spot, and he will cause like a huge damage to the other army, and he will win. Anyways, to cut the long story short, Edmund Allenby was a friend of another man, one of the people who were working in the Chicago house. His name is James Henry Bristed. He used to work in the
Yes.
Chicago house, and he had the translated annals and diaries of Tutmosis III translated into English, and he gave that to who? Edmund Allenby. I'm not sure if you guys are
Yes.
following this story or not. Um,
I am.
so he gave him, yeah. So he gave him this translated annals, and at that time, Edmund Allenby, they were fighting during the World War. They were fighting the Turkish people in Syria, more or less. And he decided that he will send divisions of Aussies and Australians the same route, the same path that Tutmosis III did. And he succeeded. Anyways, I'm sorry if that was too long. Let's go back to the Queen's Curtis.
We have a question from our, I can't see, Arif. Hi, yes. So he's asking about Zulakia and the Prophet Joseph. Quite interesting in the way Queen Nefertiti. The thing with that is we don't actually know what time specifically Joseph lived in Egypt.
Yes. Yeah, there are lots of theories, but nothing is confirmed at all, Arif, at all. Nothing, we don't have like a tangible evidence regarding that. A lot of people say it's probably the time of Yoya and Toya, but that's really, really like nothing matches that time at all. We're not sure.
Yeah.
That's not confirmed at all.
Yeah, that needs a bit more information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which pharaoh is your favorite, Curtis? Matthias is asking.
How do I get to Matthias's question? It's not showing. Oh, wow,
It's
I'm
the
very
last
far.
one, I believe.
Oh. Which pharaoh is your favorite? Male pharaoh, Ramses II. I mean,
Okay.
who else would it be?
I go for Amenhotep III.
Amenhotep III, yes. We should quickly chat then about Amenhotep III's wife, Queen T.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, a very powerful and strong lady.
I mean, she's one of those queens that she ruled with her husband, and then she wrote so many letters being diplomatic with other countries that basically the other countries preferred to talk to Queen T than
letters. Yes, that is true.
Yeah. So I think that must have been something quite special, that she had this energy that people thought, well, enough of the pharaoh, let's talk to the queen.
That is right. Maybe she got that as well from the time of Amenhotep III. I've read something, I'm not sure how true or right is that, but I've read that maybe towards the end of the reign or the rule of Amenhotep III, she was involved in ruling Egypt as well as a co-ruler with Amenhotep III, and he used to involve her especially in like the foreign relationships or the affairs between Egypt and the other neighbors, and she used to respond to the letters and everything, and that continued to happen later on during the time of Akhenaten. That's why Al-Amarna letters, number 26, I remember, there was like a letter sent to Queen T herself, asking her to keep good relationships with the new king, Akhenaten, as it used to happen with Amenhotep III. So
exactly,
but
because
yeah, she was extremely powerful.
Akhenaten and Nefertiti, at one point, they basically cut out the rest of the world, and they were literally by themselves in Amarna, and Queen T stayed living in Thebes, and she basically tried her best from Thebes to keep peace between other countries, because her son, who was the pharaoh, was not doing that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that Queen T is one of my favorite queens.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
totally agree with that.
How do you think the Great Pyramids were built?
We can do another video and tell you about all the crazy theories.
Yeah.
Nothing is confirmed till now. Maybe we know how it's built, but especially the Great Pyramid, this is like a mystery for us, especially from the inside part of it. It's totally it's a mind-blowing topic, Matthias. I'm sure you know
Yes.
that.
That's
What do you
a,
think,
a
Curtis?
that's a whole chat on its own, talking
Yeah,
about the Great
yeah,
Pyramid.
yeah. We cannot insert that right now. Sorry.
Yeah, I think the Great Pyramid was built by Hittiperes, you know? She was
Yeah,
like, you
well,
need to make something grand.
yeah, yeah. I like
And they
that
focused
too.
too much on the pyramid, and then they gave Hittiperes such a horrible little tomb.
Ha ha ha. Thank you. That would be lovely if you made a video about that. Another video about that.
Yeah.
We'll try to do that, Matthias.
Yes. So moving on, we do have another queen from around the time of Khufu. Um,
Yeah.
her name has just escaped me, but she
Their names
has
are
the,
so hard, Curtis. Their names are so hard.
I
Really.
know. And then people want to use the Greek names and all the other names, and it just gets
Oh
too
yeah.
confusing.
That's too confusing. Yeah. Too confusing.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll just refer to her as that one. She had a tomb, a semi pyramid. So her tomb is slightly slanted, but it didn't go into a full pyramid. Built for a woman just left of the Great Sphinx towards the Wall of the Crow.
Oh yeah.
And on her pyramid, there is an image of her drawn, seated on a throne, and she's wearing a nemes.
The Nemesis headdress.
Yes. A lot of people think that it was just a mistake in the art. Instead, it should have been the vulture crown, but it ended up looking like a nemes.
Really?
But
I
she,
wouldn't say it was a
yeah,
mistake.
I don't think it was a mistake, but she might have been the first one, but there's no real record of her ruling.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So if we
why?
move on from there, we go back to Sobek Neferu, and her tomb is actually, as we were saying about whether they defaced her statues,
Yeah.
the successor of her, her tomb is in the Black Pyramid built by
Yeah.
Amun-Ad III, but the whole pyramid is actually divided into several tombs,
Yeah.
one for Amun-Imhat, then for Amun-Imhat's son, another tomb for Sobek Neferu, and also Hor Awibra.
So how many burial chambers are in the pyramid? We've
About
got four?
four.
Four, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Four. Yeah.
four burial chambers inside, and Hor Awibra took over directly after Sobek Neferu, so
Yeah.
and he also only ruled for a couple months. So I doubt that he would have defaced her statues if he is shown in, if he's buried in the same tomb as Sobek Neferu.
Yeah. I don't think he's the one who
I
disfigured or
don't think it was
defaced.
direct. I don't think it was the direct successor. I think it was a little bit further down. Terry, which queens do you wish people knew more about? Well, Terry,
I would
we
go for
just
T.
Queen
I mean, like
T.
T. I don't know.
Yeah,
People know. I don't think people know about her a lot. I mean, among the Egyptologists, yes, we know how powerful and important she
yes.
was, but people they don't remember. They don't know her name. Maybe they know Nefertiti, Nefertari, Hatshepsut for sure.
But
But
the
when
thing
you
is, a
say
lot of
T,
people don't even know Nefertari. That's the thing.
oh, that's yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah,
Yes,
which is
yeah,
which is why when we decided to do the documentary that we
the
released last
documentary.
week,
Yeah.
If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. It's on YouTube, Nefertari, The Life of an Egyptian Queen. And
Yeah.
we completely discuss Nefertari's life.
Everything. A whole hour
Yes,
of beauty.
exactly.
Yeah.
So she's
You
one of
got
the
to watch
queens,
it,
Terry,
guys.
that I wish people would know more about. Also, Queen T. So maybe in the future, when we have time and we can plan things better, we can do a whole series of documentaries to tell people about these queens, because not everybody wants to read these days. They want to just sit and watch a video.
Yeah, that's true. Makes life
Yeah,
easier for a lot of people, yes.
yeah.
And
So
the
I
way
think
you
that's,
put the story, the way you did the documentary uh, was really capturing. Like you sit in front of the TV and you're glued to the TV. You want to finish it. You want to hear the whole story and listen to every bit of it. It was amazing. Yes, amazing.
thank you.
Yes.
And thank you for
Oh,
being in it.
oh, thank you. So let's move forward to who else?
Hmm. After
Uh,
Sobek Neferu, we can move forward to, hmm. Let's do Ahmoza Nefertari.
Ahmos Nefertari.
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, Lamir. Ahmed Darwish.
Hello, Ahmed. Is that Lamai? Hi,
That's
Lamai.
Lamir, yeah.
Hi, Lamai. I know the name now. Hi, Lamai.
So,
uh,
yeah, Lamy does the voice of Ramses II in the Nefertari documentary.
yes, she's got really deep voice. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
When I
yeah,
was thinking of someone to do the voice of Ramses, I was like, I need someone with a big, powerful voice. I was like,
yes,
Lamy.
it's Lamai. Yes, yeah. You did a great job, Lamai. Great job.
So, yes, Ahmoza Nefertari, she came to be the queen of Egypt in the beginning of the 18th dynasty when her husband chased the Hyksos out of Egypt. And
Uh, is that? Oh,
basically,
yes.
Ahmose
Oh, we're talking
Nefertari
about
was,
Ahmos and Nefertari. Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay.
yeah, basically Ahmose Nefertari was elevated to the status of a local goddess for the people of Deir el-Medina.
Oh.
And we have so many statues of Ahmose Nefertari at Deir el-Medina.
This whole
Uh,
dynasty, the ladies in this dynasty, they were the main reason behind encouraging their husbands and their sons to fight and defeat the Hyksos. I mean, like
yes,
they did an amazing job. Like if we remember Ahmose and Nefertari, if we remember Titi Shiri, the mother of Siknin Ra. Siknin Ra is the
yes,
father of Ahmose and Kamos and his wife. What's the name of his wife? Of Siknin Ra's wife? Iyahotep?
yeah,
Iyahotep, the mother of Kamos and Ahmos.
mhm, exactly.
Yeah, so this whole
No,
dynasty is,
Ahmose Nefertari was the mother of Ahmose.
wasn't it Iyahotep?
No, no, no. I think she was the mother of Sekenin Rata. I think.
Mm, wasn't the mother of Sikrin Ra? Wasn't it Titi Shiri? Right?
I think so.
Let's check that out.
I'm gonna quickly check. Um, no, you are correct. Yeah, Ahmose Nefertari was the wife of Ahmose.
Yeah. So the mother was Iyahotep, and she's
Yeah,
the one who encouraged the sons and actually Sikrin Ra as well to defeat or fight first the Hyksos, and then Kamos, he died, and then she encouraged Ahmos to do
yes,
that, and they won the battle, and she held the title of the first lady general ever
yes,
in
and
the
we
whole
have
world.
we have that beautiful axe of hers.
Yes. And do
with
you
her
know
name.
that thing that they used to wear whenever they are great warriors that has the shape of the fly? The necklace that has the shape, that was what, that was actually the most important, um, like medal of honor, something like that, given to the generals and men in the army. And she got that one, I believe.
Which queen, which queen reigned the longest? Asks Terry. That's
Isn't it
very
Hatshepsut
difficult.
for 20, for 22 something
26.
years? Hatshepsut? 26?
Yeah,
22-ish,
26,
26?
because
Yeah, I
I
guess
think
it's,
after 22, she made Thutmose the co-regent,
oh, yes.
and then
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
and
So
then
we
she
would say
died.
Hatshepsut easily. Yeah. She's the one
Easily
who reigned the longest. Yeah, I guess.
or Arsinoe the first, probably.
For how long did she reign?
Arsinoe also ruled for about 15 years, but Arsinoe's story is so confusing. I mean, any Ptolemaic story is so confusing.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
because then they rule it with
That's
the brother,
true.
and then they rule it with the
Yes.
father, and then the father kills the brother, and it's the.
Yeah, that's
But
true. Always
yeah, the
confusing.
two is
So yes.
Hatshepsut and Arsinoe.
Yeah, Hatshepsut. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
We have the Nubian high priestess. She's got an extremely long name. I'm not even going to try and say it, but she's the mother. She's the mother of Amenidris, the
yeah.
adopted mother of
I'm not
Amenidris.
gonna say the name either. No.
You know the name, you know what I'm saying, but it's too
Yes,
long to say.
it is. Yeah.
So yes, the adopted mother of Amenidris, she also ruled, but I wouldn't say she was a pharaoh, but she was very much in charge of Thebes because at that time, it's now the third
Yes.
intermediate period, and Egypt
Yeah.
had been
It's
split into,
divided again. Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
And that happened whew, about 250 years after the reign of Ramses II. Everything
Yeah.
started to
Decline
fragment.
and fall. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
By the end of
because
the 19th dynasty, everything started to collapse.
it
Like,
was a disaster.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
Nefertari was trained by Mutoi, the mother of Ramses,
yeah,
to get it into Ramses' mind to have as many children as possible so that the disaster that happened at the reign of Tut does not follow on into Ramses' reign. So
yeah,
Nefertari, we know from Nefertari's tomb, she had the title of the head of, or the chief of the pharaoh's harem,
yeah.
um, which basically means she chooses the woman for
Yes,
Ramses.
for Ramesses, yes.
So she had a role in saying, okay, have children with these people. And we know that she wrote to the Hittites and asked the Hittites to send a princess for Ramses to marry. And it was just a process. I think Nuri's gone offline. Hold on. I'm going to check here because sometimes these live chats, they just stop instantly. What's going on? I'll quickly WhatsApp her. Obelisk girl left. Okay, I think Nuri has lost connection. Um, so I will quickly finish telling you guys about the story of what happened with Nefertari. Basically, how do I get Nuri back on? Okay, so yes, at the end of Ramses' reign, he had so many children. He had over 100 children that they all thought that the next one was more special than the other one. And basically, when Ramses died, Medemfetar, the 13th son, took over. After him, there were a succession of his family members, each one thinking that they should be the next pharaoh of Egypt. And this made a huge problem. There was so much fighting in between. There was Ramses' daughter, Tawazret, and she killed one of her cousins, and so on and so on. And basically, the 19th dynasty ended in a complete disaster because there were too many people who were going to succeed. And that's where Ramses III came in and started ruling Egypt as a new family. So, VC Hamilton. Yes, this is a South African accent, VC Hamilton. Let me go back to Nouri and see if we can add her. I don't know where she's disappeared to. Hello, DWSFL. Hello. Yes, so I'm just going to text Nouri, re-adding you on the chat. Hi there, everyone. Okay, so we're just going to wait 2 seconds for Nouri to join the call back again. I don't know what's going on. They've probably lost connection. But if anyone has any questions about Egyptian queens, now is the time to ask them. So, hi, Wally Quinn. Thanks for joining. Not quite sure why we can't add Nouri again. I don't know what's going on, guys. Sorry, this is the first real live stream we've done. Nouri, there we go. It says, Nouri, you are unable to join. So let me click on you here. Requests, add. I think this should add you back. As I see, I've got a request to add you to the chat. There we go. Hello.
Back again. I don't know what happened. I just lost connection all of a sudden. But here I am back again. Yeah.
So I just, while we were trying to add you back, I was just quickly telling everyone about the problems that happened with Ramses' children, because there were all of these people trying to become the successor, and
Yes.
everyone thinking that they're more important than the other.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
So that plan of Mutoi and Nefertari actually didn't work out too well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi,
But
Kareem.
one good thing, hi Kareem, one good thing that did come out of it is that 1% of the world's population are related to Ramses II.
That is an absolute right. That is absolutely right. The guy, oh my God, how did he do that?
One wife every night, you know?
One wife every night, yes.
Terry's asking, who was the oldest queen? Queen T did live to be very old. That
That's
is
the
true.
meaning of the question? Okay.
I would say
yeah,
Queen T was the oldest
I would
queen.
say T, because T as well lived during the time of Tutankhamun when he ruled Egypt. She was there, I believe.
Yes, that's also what I believe. I mean, we have the little sarcophagi showing the offering, the hair, yeah, the
Yes,
hair from Queen
exactly.
T in Tut's
Yes.
tomb, and the inscription does not read Tutankhaten, because we know Tut changed his name when he became Pharaoh to Tutankhamun.
Yeah, Tutankhamun,
The coffin says an offering of grace from Queen T to Tutankhamun.
Yes.
So probably Queen T was alive at the beginning of Tut's reign, and probably helped to put the religion back in order, because we know Queen T was not agreeing too much with her father.
Yes. Yes, he was a follower of Amun, yes.
So she probably lived to be like 100 or something like that. It's not impossible. It could have happened.
Yes, I believe in that so much, yes. So probably she's the oldest one, going back to that question.
Khedr Perez lived until she was about 50 or 60.
I guess T passed that number way. She died way after that number, maybe
for
60-ish. Yeah.
Soul Shack has a question for us.
Soul Shack.
Hi, if you could go back in time and meet one pharaoh, who would you want to meet? Nouri, I'll let you answer that one first.
Oh, come on, you start.
Okay. So for me, it's quite obvious. I would go back to the 19th dynasty. I would want to
Ramses the
meet
second?
Ramses the second, because if I'm meeting Ramses the second, it
You're
means that
meeting
Nefertari
Nefertari.
will be there.
Yes, yes. I would actually go to Akhenaton.
Akhenaten. You know
Yeah.
what? If you could go back to Akhenaten, you could probably find out so many answers to questions that we have.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Akhenaten and Nefertiti and Queen T. And maybe if I can go back a little bit more in time, back in time, I mean, to the time of Amenhotep III, and witness the majesty and how he was a great builder and how he was a great pharaoh, and then see what happened during the lifetime or the journey of preparing the young pharaoh Akhenaten, and how did he come up with the idea of the monotheism, or just believing in just one cult or one religion. How did that happen? How did it start? Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah,
So
that would
probably
be a good one.
Akhenaten.
And
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to go back as well to find out if Nefertiti died of plague or did she change her name? Because a lot of people think that she is Nefernuaten.
Yes, yes, yes.
But was she? There's no 100% proof whether Nefertiti became
Yeah,
a
we don't
pharaoh.
know. Yeah, we don't know really about that. You're right. But we know that she lived and she witnessed Tutankhamun becoming the ruler of the country, I guess.
Yeah.
Uh, what we're looking for now is basically the tomb of Nefertiti, which is, we don't know where it is. But Zahi Hawass, a few years ago, I guess, or last year, he said, or he mentioned that
Yes.
there are two mummies that we found in Egypt, and he thinks that one of the mummies goes back or belongs to Nefertiti, and the other one is Ankhis in Ta'iten. They're working on that project of the DNA scanning thing,
Yeah.
and
It's the mummy that I believe that he also thinks is Nefertiti. Her head is missing. It's just her jaw, and the
just this
top of her
part.
head is gone. The whole top of the head is
Why?
gone. And if you look at her, even just by the jaw, you can see that Nefertiti jawline.
Yeah.
And I really do believe that that's Nefertiti because the younger lady that was found next to Queen T is not Nefertiti.
No.
That is Kia, it's Tut's mother. We know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Nefertiti is somewhere else.
Yeah. But what do you think of the tomb? Her tomb? Like, because Nicholas Reeves, he said like a few years ago, he's the one who came up with the idea that Nefertiti's tomb is right
Inside Tut
behind.
too.
Yeah.
I would love to
Forgot the name.
believe that. It's just until we can actually get in there, who knows if there's anything in there. So
Yeah,
I
you know
can't
what?
say yes or no.
I have a huge belief that Zahi Hawass very soon will come up to all of us and will come and say that we found the tomb of Nefertiti and such. Yeah, I believe
Such a
so.
pity. It's such a pity that Nefertiti's twin sister, her mummy, was not found. We have her tomb at Saqqara, but her mummy has been, they know there was a mummy in the tomb, but that mummy was stolen and taken somewhere else, probably put in a museum, and we will never know
We'll
who
never
she
know.
is.
Unless they
Yeah,
do a scan to all the mummies, the Egyptian mummies everywhere, all over the world, maybe we would get to know. But that's, yeah, that's a very hard one. Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, Nefertiti's sister also ruled Egypt as a queen
Under
because
what, under what name?
she married Horemheb.
Yeah.
Um, her name has just gone out of my head.
Yeah, that's okay. The names are very hard to remember. Yeah.
No, I need to check this. I
I
have
was
to
just,
quickly
yeah,
check.
I was just wondering.
Nefertiti
Yeah, we can do a quick check on that.
sister, because that's important. Mut
And like, yeah.
Nojmet.
Ah, yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, Mut Nojmet, sister of Nefertiti. She did also become a queen of Egypt along with Horemheb, and probably Horemheb is probably the brother of Nefertiti and Mut Nojmet.
Yeah, I've read that as well. Yes.
Yeah. So that whole family is just a disaster.
In simple words, yes, exactly. But what, do you think that there is a relationship between I and not Nefertiti, Nefertari?
I and Nefertari. Let me just quickly say hi, Otto. I haven't seen you in a while. Um, yes, so I and Nefertari, I have such an idea that, as we explain in the documentary, and this is something
Yeah.
I researched I's family line very deeply when making the Nefertari documentary. And what I could see was I had his first wife, Taya,
Yeah.
not to be confused with T. So
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Taya,
Yeah, it's a
so
different.
I's wife, Taya, that he had when he was only the vizier at Amarna. She had a son called Nakt. And Nakt and his wife had a child called I.
Yeah.
They named him after his grandfather. And this I Jr. became a priest of Mut. And that is where we lose track
Yes.
of I Jr.
Yeah, totally.
So it's probably that I Jr. is the father of Nefertari.
What did Ahmed, what did the Lamai, what are you talking about?
Her uncle, I
Her
think,
uncle?
from her mother's side.
Ah, are you talking about I
Yeah,
and his relation to Nefertari?
to Nefertari.
Um,
Yeah. So it is probably that I is related to Nefertari as the grandfather, as
yeah,
you also
certainly
said, the
not the father
grandfather.
at all. Yeah, certainly
Yeah,
not the
not the
father. He
father.
cannot be the father at all. Yeah, yeah.
No, that would make her like 20 years older than Ramses.
That is true. Yes, that is
And we know
absolutely
she was
right.
very young and beautiful, and so I do believe. But I remember we received a question on Friday while we were quickly talking about tombs. We go back to the
Yeah,
tombs
yeah.
from
There was a
called Troy.
question.
Yes, so Troy asked us if we could discover the tomb of a
Oh
queen.
yes, yeah.
Which queen would that be? So you go first.
Uh, Nefertiti.
Nefertiti.
Nefertiti. Cleopatra.
Cleopatra. I would so love if Dr. Martinez was able to find Cleopatra's tomb.
Hi, Shushu. Shadia. Hello. Sorry to
Hi.
interrupt you. Yeah,
Cleopatra would be such a great tomb to find
yeah.
because that would put a lot of the mystery about her death to rest. Um, I would love for Kathleen Martinez to find the tomb at Taposiris Magma.
Yeah.
But as Dr. Hawass says, and we know from some records, her mausoleum was on the Palace Island at Alexandria, which is now
Yes.
underwater.
Yeah. Totally and completely submerged. Yes.
Yeah.
But
So who knows?
okay. So
Yeah.
let's
So
admit
it
that
is
all the movies that are talking that all the movies that we're talking about Cleopatra are a complete Nonsense.
Fiction.
In a way. Nonsense.
Sophia
Nothing
as
is
is. I
right.
think we're swimming underwater. Yes, Sophia.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. uh, but let's, Sophia, this is. Tell us your opinion. Do you think that the mummy or the body of Cleopatra and Alexander the Great? Yes, the tomb is under the water. I guess I and Curtis as well. We agree with you regarding that. But do you think that the mummies are still there? Do you think that there is anything that is left? Because I've heard that everything was stolen from the tomb of Alexander the Great later on after his death. And they got the gold and they melted the gold and they melted everything.
Yeah. With Alexander's tomb, they said he was in this glass or crystal
Yes,
sarcophagus.
yes,
And
yeah.
there was a report, as Chris mentioned in one of his lectures, which I didn't know about, that under a mosque, there was a report about a sarcophagus, a glass sarcophagus being found, and the man who found it in the 1800s had said
Nabi Daniel, yeah.
he saw the body of Alexander the Great. When he came up, told everyone, the next day when they went back, everything was stolen.
Oh,
So
yeah.
was the tomb there and has it been stolen now? Or was this guy just making up a story to make the mosque important?
I don't know. It's very hard
Mhm.
for me to accept the idea that it was found in the modern time.
Yeah. Because it
And
wasn't a
I mean,
mystery
like,
where his tomb was in ancient times. Everyone knew Alexander's tomb was over there.
you think?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of travelers used to write and say, we went to visit the tomb of Alexander the Great, and everyone would go and leave flowers and offerings to his tomb. So who knows where his tomb was, but it was somewhere in Alexandria for sure.
Yes.
I know he was
Yeah, yeah.
buried in Saqqara and moved and eventually ended in Alexandria. But
Yes,
who knows?
Alexandria. Yes, yeah.
I think we might find Alexander's tomb. Yes, Sophia, we hope.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Yes. For
But
Alexander, Cleopatra, and Titi, Nefertiti.
yes, you know, while we talk about, and Anke Senamun, of course, we would
Oh,
love to
yeah.
find her too.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But let's move to probably one of the strongest female pharaohs
Are we talking
ever.
about Hatshepsut?
Yes, hot chicken
Yes.
soup.
Hot chickens. Oh, come on, don't say that. Yes. The
Have you
strongest of
seen
them
have you seen
all.
that movie? There's an Egyptian movie and these guys are dancing around and they're going Hatshepsut. Have you seen
Which
it?
which which movie is that? The Egyptian
There's a
movie? Are you talking
musical.
about the Egyptian? Oh
Yeah,
yes,
from
I
the
love
70s.
it. Yes, it's amazing. I love it. And the guy who was singing, he was so in love with Hatshepsut that he made the song for her. You do great work on
I've got a
informing us
nice
on what you
person here.
know. Yes, he is
I
doing
can't
such
see
a
his name.
wonderful
It's
job.
disappeared. I can't see his name. It's disappeared. Is it
Jana,
Jan? Jana.
Jana, yeah.
Okay,
Whoa, whoa.
guys, I just got to quickly tell you that this chat is saying to me it's going to end in 20 seconds. So what I'm going to do is, after the 20 seconds have ended, I'm going to start the chat again, and then we'll chat maybe for about another half an hour about Hatshepsut, finish off a few things, and we'll be back in less than 20 seconds. Okay. Hi, Nouri.
Back again. Hi.
Two. Yes, everyone, sorry about that, but yes, Instagram does end the chat suddenly. They just end it because maybe we're going on for too long. So let's talk about Hatshepsut.
Yeah, that's an amazing one. A very powerful and strong one. Uh,
Exactly. Um, something that you have to admire about Hatshepsut, she didn't let anyone tell her what to do. She was
what to
like
do.
in charge.
She was ahead of everybody, and she was so ahead of her time as well. I mean, like, she
Yeah,
insisted and she chased that dream. She wanted to be the real one, the one and the only, the Pharaoh.
yeah.
As simple as that. Yes.
And do you know what the original translation of Hatshepsut's name was before they
Uh,
actually decided to name her Hatshepsut because they translated her name? It was a
no, tell
disaster.
me. Tell me the story.
Amun Nitgiri.
Amun what?
Amun Nitgiri.
Nitgri? Why
Hmm.
that name? Why?
No idea, but they translated it so badly. They didn't figure out that the name of the 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 name of the
Uh-huh.
god that was mentioned
Nitgri?
in her cartouche is actually just to show who she's connected with. It wasn't actually part of the name, so they called her Amun Nitgiri.
Let me check that
So
name out.
I've Googled it many times. There's hardly any
It's
information on it, but
nothing, right?
yeah,
Nothing.
I think Bob Breyer mentions it in one of his books. He talks about all the different names that we had for
Oh yeah, Bob
Hatshepsut.
Ryer. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
so, but yes, with Hatshepsut, we know she traveled to Punt to do a lot
yes.
of trading,
Yeah.
and people in Punt, they don't know exactly where it is, but if we had to point it down, it's
I
probably
guess
uh,
it's Somalia nowadays.
Eritrea, Somalia, that area.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Most
yeah,
likely, yes. Yeah.
yeah. And we know that she went there and had such a good relation with the queen of Punt, and she
Yeah.
sent her back with so many offerings. I mean,
Lots of goodies,
I
yes.
don't, yeah, I don't lots of goodies. I don't think we have an example of a king coming back from another country with so much stuff.
No, like Hatshepsut, no, but I believe Tutmosis the Third followed the footsteps of Hatshepsut in such a matter, bringing
Yeah,
lots of birds and different types of birds from different parts. That's why he has the garden in Karnak Temple at the back of the
yes,
Akhmenu. Yes. So I guess he was somehow influenced by Hatshepsut and how strong and powerful she was, despite the fact that he tried to erase her name.
exactly. But I mean, do we know for sure that he hated Hatshepsut as much as people say that he did?
I don't think so. I don't, my own belief, no, he didn't hate her that much. He didn't, no, it's really exaggerated, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, a lot of people, someone writes one book and people attach to that book, and then that gets repeated over and over and over. I
That
mean,
is true,
so many
yes.
people have called Hatshepsut like evil stepmother. But I mean, is she meant to let a child become king of a country that her ancestors from only about 10 years before struggled to get back from the Hyksos?
Yeah, yeah. And if she was
Is she
that
meant,
bad, why would
yeah.
she send him to learn the art of war and military?
Mhm.
That for sure would make him like very strong and very like, why would she do that? I
Yeah,
think she was preparing him the right way.
for
That's just
sure,
the
for sure.
theory, yeah. Just the theory, yes.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
So, I mean, and with Hatshepsut, people have said that from her mummy, she was a very big woman.
Yeah.
Do you believe that, or
I looking at the mummy, I don't think that she was, I don't know, to be honest. I mean, looking at the mummy, I don't think she was that huge or big. You think?
yeah,
You think she was
I
big?
I don't think she was like obese, obese. I think she might have
No,
had
I
a
don't
bit
think
of weight
so.
on her.
Really?
She definitely didn't look like the queen of Punt, you know.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, that's
For
true.
those who
Yeah.
don't know, there's the queen of Punt. She's shown as a very obese woman with like rolls and rolls of spare tires on her.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, yes. Yeah, I've read something regarding that story that the
Yeah,
artists in ancient Egypt, they wanted to make fun of the lady of Punt, the queen of Punt, but in fact, that was not making fun of her at all. They were
that's how
showing,
it was.
yes, that's more or less like realism in art, and they started to put everything the way they have seen it in Punt, which is probably nowadays Somalia or Eritrea, this area. Um,
Yeah. Look at the late period of Kush. I cannot remember her name now, but there was the queen depicted in Kush, and she was also shown as a very big lady.
yes, yeah,
Yeah. And we know that her and Julius Caesar did not have very good relations. They didn't like each other.
that's
So
true.
I don't know how Cleopatra would have handled that, but
Cleopatra is another story.
mm, she is indeed.
Yeah,
Quick question. How do you think Cleopatra died?
I cannot see any questions. I love ancient. Where's the
How do you
question, please?
how do you think Cleopatra died, Nuri?
Ah, that's your question to me. How do I think
Hmm,
Cleopatra died?
yes.
Um, Honestly speaking, I do not believe in the story of the cobra and the poison or anything like that. I believe she poisoned herself somehow, but how, I do not find the story of having a cobra in one hand and let the cobra bite you until you die is very, I cannot accept this story very much.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people, they used to say that it was a horned viper, but the
Yeah,
poison from a horned viper actually takes a couple days to kill you.
to die, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
what do you think?
I have a feeling maybe she poisoned herself, you know,
But
um,
not with the
because
snake or the viper snake
no,
or
I think maybe she took some venom from the snake, mixed it with
yes.
some herbs, and because she was very good at science, so um, she was very good at science. So who actually knows how she died? But she did kill herself. That is for
Yes,
sure. She did not
that
want to
is
be
for
taken
sure.
to Rome. Her sister was taken to Rome and paraded around as a
Yeah.
captive,
Yeah.
and she did not want that. It was going to be too embarrassing.
Oh yeah. She did not want
Yeah,
to be humiliated in front of everybody after all the fame and all the success. And she was such a smart, like a one
yeah.
man show thing.
I mean,
Yes.
she spoke 7 languages, and
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But I remember watching something the other day, and Professor Joyce Tildesley was on, and no, was it Joyce Tildesley or Nicole Dweck? Yes, Nicole Dweck. And it was about Cleopatra, and they said Nicole Dweck. They asked her, "What is your opinion about Cleopatra being such a seductress and all of this?"
Yeah.
She gave the best reply, and I think it's the reply we should all stick to. Cleopatra was the queen of Egypt. She can sleep with whoever she wants to.
Oh, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yes. That's a
And
perfect
I just
reply. Yes.
thought, okay.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yes. 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 But she was, I don't think the
Hi, Nelly
seduction.
CD. Hi, Ed.
How what?
I'm just saying hi to the people waving.
Oh, hello everybody. I don't think Cleopatra was that gorgeous or beautiful. I
No.
think her personality. it's all about the personality, how strong she was. Um, yeah, I guess not.
Yeah,
It's not about
she
the looks
wasn't
at all.
beautiful.
Yeah,
It was about
yeah,
brains and power and
yes, yes, yes.
yeah.
It's
And
not
I don't
about the
think
looks at all. Yeah.
the ancient
Sorry,
sources never say the ancient sources, they never say Cleopatra is beautiful. They say her voice
yeah,
is beautiful,
the
which
voice
could
is
mean a lot of
beautiful.
things.
That's
Either she had a beautiful speaking voice or what she said was beautiful.
yeah, yeah.
Who
Maybe
knows
a
the answer
mix
to
of
that?
both, because she seems to be a woman who
Ah,
knows what she wants exactly.
Torfe, thanks for joining the live chat. Hi, Torfe. Torfe is a former Miss Regal from South Africa.
Hello, Tofi. How are you?
Yeah, so um, any other queens that you would like to mention, Nuri?
Uh, no, I guess we covered the most important ones, even some of the unknown ones as well. Hi, Tofi.
Exactly.
Uh,
I think
um,
I think if we
y-
mention anyone that wasn't spoken about, it's probably Queen Iset,
he
wife
said,
of Ramses III.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that man as well. Yes.
Oh, do you think that the Queen killed her husband with the snake, or was his throat cut, or what's
We
your
know
view?
about the story of the sons of Ramesses III when they wanted to kill him or
Yeah.
assassinate him, and then he discovered that out, and he held like there was a stage in front of the royal palace at that time, and they decided that they will execute the son and have him killed. And because he is the son of the king or the pharaoh, no one can kill him, and he had to take his life on his own.
Yeah.
I don't know how true is that. Do you agree with the story?
You know, there's so many stories about that. I mean, now they've done the CT scans of his body, and it shows definitely that his throat was cut.
Yes.
But was his throat cut as an accident or something during mummification? Maybe to cut his throat to maybe open air for if he was poisoned or bitten by a snake so he could breathe. You know, they had
Yeah.
different ways to do things back then, because we do have the papyrus documents that say after he was attacked or poisoned in his bedroom,
Yeah.
it took him, um, was it 7 days to die?
To heal or to die?
7 days to die. So he had time to make sure that the people who did it were prosecuted, as you just said,
Yeah.
with his son, the other wife, and they had to
Yeah.
kill themselves. So if his
I
throat
don't
was
know
cut,
if you get in somebody's room holding the knife and everything, and then you come close to the neck and you cut the neck. I don't think somebody would live after that. I'm not sure. I'm being like just I don't know.
that's what I'm saying.
Yes,
His body,
exactly.
his throat was cut, but the documents say that he lived for 7 days after this attack in his bedroom.
I don't know.
But
Well, yeah,
nevertheless, his wife, Queen Isis, definitely was not the
not
nicest woman.
involved. Not involved or involved.
Involved for
Oh yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
wanted her son to
Yeah.
become the pharaoh,
Yeah.
um, and it's with Queen Isis. We do know that she had a lot of problems with the other queens, because
That is true. Yeah.
when we see her depicted at Medinet Habu, the queen who's behind her, they leave the name blank on the cartouche.
So there's no name for her.
There's no name. So probably Queen Isis had a problem with other queens. She wanted to be the one who's in charge. So the
And
other
probably
queen,
she insisted that they don't have the names in a cartouche like herself.
yeah, Yeah,
Yet,
because the name, the cartouche is there. It's waiting
yeah,
for a name, but
yeah,
they've left it. And it wasn't erased. It was never put in.
yes, never put in, yes, yeah.
Yeah. So it's sort of like a bookmark to say this is another queen, but the queen in front of her is more important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
another
Hi
confusing story,
Nabil.
huh?
Hi Noor
Hi,
Has.
Nabil. Hi, Biba. Habiba, I love you,
Diba.
Habiba. Hi. uh,
Hi
Perry.
Perry.
Hi, Perry. Hi, Nurhan.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
So
Uh,
if we now go back to Queen Nefertari, the reason for all of
yeah.
this chat and the new documentary and everything, if you could tell people one thing about Nefertari that you want them to know, what is it that you would like people to know about her?
I was so fascinated by the fact that Nefertari was joining Ramesses II all the time, everywhere, wherever, whenever he goes, she's always with him. And then when you told me that she was almost, and probably
Yes.
that's the reason why he insisted on having her with him all the time, whenever and wherever. For me, that was really fascinating.
Yes.
I would love to know more about the relationship between the insights and the uh, relationship between Nefertari and I forgot the name of the other lady, the other important wife. What was Iset Nofret? Yeah, Iset Nofret. Iset Nofret. I think there was a lot between them happening between them, like a wife and a second wife and things like that. But
Because
this
you know Nefertari is the the
the
queen,
one,
the one.
yes, for sure, yes, yeah. Nefertari
Uh,
was here, and
so
Iset
to have
Nofret
these
was there.
other to have these other queens, I mean, I don't know if they all got on very well. I think there must have been a lot of competition.
Yes, but these two specifically, I mean, like, still Nefertari held a very, very much of a higher position than Iset Nofret, but Iset Nofret was there as well. She was mentioned a
A
lot
lot.
with Ramesses II. Yeah.
I have
Uh,
a theory that maybe Iset Nofret was sent to Memphis. Nefertari
yes,
stayed in Thebes.
and in Thebes, yes, yeah, yeah. I
Because
so believe in that.
the more statues that we have of Iset Nofret come from Memphis,
Yes,
Tanis in the north. In the
yeah,
south, we
Tanis in
have
the
Nefertari
yeah
as the strong
Nefertari.
image.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. That
So
is
maybe
true.
they didn't get along that well, and it was like, okay, you go there and you go there and be happy.
Yeah, and probably as well when Nefertari lost her sons as well, all of them, and then the inheritor of the throne became to be from Iset Nofret, which is
Iset
Merim
Nofret.
Petah. That made like more of friction and like hard feelings between both of them more, I guess, because he's going to be
Exactly.
the next coming Pharaoh. Yes.
Yeah.
No, to be
And
honest,
by
the
that time,
whole
he was
documentary was just unbelievable regarding um, telling the story of Nefertari, going into more depth regarding her life and how she died and the different theories and her life with the king, her relationship with the Greeks at that time.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, it's just, yeah, amazing.
Well, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. I hope everyone
Oh,
else
yeah.
who's on
Yeah.
watching gets to watch the film. If you haven't watched it already, please watch the Nefertari documentary on YouTube. Um, but yeah, that's the thing. We were talking about the other queens with Nefertari. If we look also at Nefertari's clothing, she
Yes.
wore this very transparent, beautiful, elaborate dresses, with the ribbons and the tassels, and you could see her whole body underneath. And we
Yes, that's
know
true.
from her tomb that she is the only one allowed to wear that.
Such a dress. Yes, that is true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that specific style was reserved for the most important queen, Nefertari.
Yeah.
So, can you imagine her walking past the other queens in the palace, or the other wives
Yes.
in the palace, and seeing this dress? They must be like, you. Either that, or
Yes.
they were like her
Yes.
best friend, you know?
Yeah. Yes, exactly. I totally agree with you. Yes, that's probably how they felt and how it was. Yeah, yeah. I totally agree. If you would tell us something about Nefertari that became to be very special after knowing and studying more about this lady, what would it be?
It would be about how she held such a high point in the political side of
Yeah,
Egypt. Um, Someone actually, we talk about it in the documentary, this image of Nefertari and Ramses seated on the throne of Egypt as equals at Abu Simbel in her innermost sanctuary of her temple. And
yeah.
someone sent me this picture the other day because we don't show it from the right angle. And actually, I can show you the picture. There's the picture. And
Yeah.
if you look, she is so, so important there. I mean, Ramses
Oh,
is shown
yeah.
in the front. This is
Yeah, I
Ramses.
can see. Yes,
Uh,
yeah.
this is Ramses here.
Yes.
And Ramses is worshipping Ramses, as he
Oh, of
does.
course.
And
Of course.
he's
Yeah.
also worshipped. And look, they are seated on the throne of Egypt, and Nefertari's throne is actually a little bit higher.
Yeah.
So when I
I don't
got to
know
see this
what.
image from
Yeah.
this angle, you can
Yeah.
see that she's extremely important. She wasn't just a wife or a queen.
No,
She was
no,
a wife or a queen.
no,
She was
no.
ruling, almost co-regent like.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
VC Hamilton, Queen Hitta Perez is my favorite. That furniture, dot, dot, dot.
That furniture, Curtis. Whoa.
I would love it if they, in the museum, if they would take linen and hook it around the frame of her bedroom, how it was, because there's the little hooks where you can
Yes.
see the curtains were hooked all around the four posters.
But
So
do
we
we
can get
have
it.
the curtain?
We don't have the curtain, but they should just
But
make
we
it like
can,
that.
yeah, we can mimic that. We can imitate that.
Yeah, I think that would be such a great idea to see how Hete Perez's bedroom looked more complete.
Yes, that's right.
Jan, thank you. Fascinating. Clap, clap. Thank you.
Jan, thank you, Jan. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
So we hope
but
that you enjoyed that, right?
yes. Hi. Sorry, the name just disappeared. Hi.
Hi, photography. Hello.
um, so, if anyone has any more questions about Egyptian queens, now is the chance to ask them, please. Um, so, questions are allowed. We've had a couple questions throughout the chat, but I'm just going to allow this time now for any questions that anybody has. Yes. So, as we know, the women in ancient Egypt had very high um, high
Was highly
regard.
respected, yes.
Yes. VC Hamilton, who was the most wicked queen?
Wicked. Uh,
Wicked
wicked.
Queen Isis of Ramses III.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. Yeah, yeah.
Um, or Tawosret, because we know she killed her cousin to become the queen.
Yeah,
All
Tawishrit is also a big story. Yeah,
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 daughter of Ramses the Second.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
Tawishrit
which
and Ramesses the Third,
Queen
wife,
Isis,
Isis. Yeah.
for sure. Terry started asking a question, but I think she stopped halfway through.
I guess Terry was asking the same question. She's asking which queen has your favorite artifact?
Artifact.
Which queen? Uh,
Hmm.
um,
You know, Hatshepsut, because she had the perfume,
yeah,
and we have those bottles of perfume still, and you can actually smell them. So,
they're beautiful. Yes.
hi Angie, thank you so much.
Thank you, Angie.
So either Hatshepsut, or I would have to say, favorite artifact of a queen is Nefertiti. I mean, the bust.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What about you?
Do you have do you have I'll tell you, but do you have a theory regarding the other eye, the lost eye of Nefertiti? What do you think?
Yes. So, um, they try and say that the bust was on a shelf and it fell off the shelf
Yeah.
from aging. I
Yeah.
don't believe that
I don't think
because
no. Yeah.
if it fell, she would have cracked in half. I mean, Akhenaten's bust is totally damaged.
Yes.
So with Nefertiti, the eye that we still have, it's made out of quartz and beeswax.
Yeah.
I think because it landed on its
On the
side,
side. Yeah.
and the one side was exposed to the sun, to the heat, this
That's
wax
why the
in the eye
color faded.
started to melt and it fell out.
Yeah. There is a theory that mentions that probably Nefertiti had lost one of her eyes because of an eye disease that I cannot remember what is the name of that eye disease. And that's why they did show her the way she used to be. The way she used to be. I'm not
Yeah.
really with this theory, however, I'm not sure. But I believe that the
I don't know
colors faded.
this strange eye. I think because they loved showing people in such perfection, apart from in the Amarna time, I don't think
Yes.
they would have shown her
Yeah.
like that.
Yes.
Especially if she was the direct connection to the Aten. She wouldn't have been shown
Yes.
with a different
Yeah.
eye.
Yeah. Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. But I think it definitely melted out. And if we look at the bust, if you look at a close-up image of the eye that's missing, underneath there's like a
You
line.
can
And
see. Yes, you can see the line. Yeah, you can see the
that's
line.
wax
Yeah.
that's melted. It melted and fell out somehow.
Jana, we were talking about the perfume bottles from the time of Hatshepsut that you can still smell
Mhm.
the perfume.
Yes. Those perfume bottles, I believe they were discovered by Howard Carter in Hatshepsut's tomb because Howard Carter found Hatshepsut and her father's joint tomb together. And the perfume bottles were sold, and now they are actually in Italy. So you can see them either at the museum in Turin or in Florence. And actually, at the museum in Florence, they have the bottles there, and there's little holes in the display. And if you put your nose close enough and give it a good sniff, you can actually smell the perfume a little bit still. So you know what Hatshepsut smelled like.
We're talking thousands and thousands of years, Jana, and you can still smell it. Yes.
Exactly. Oh my God, I see, yes. So, someone told me the other day, oh, you have a perfume bottle and it's been around for so long, and that perfume bottle has now, obviously the smell's got to go away, it expires. I'm like, Hatshepsut's perfume
Mm,
still has
not
now 3,000
Hatshepsut one.
years.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So it's great when you can see a mummy of an Egyptian, but the thing is when you can smell and actually get a feeling of that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a total different thing. Yeah.
One more question that I'm going to answer, and then we're going to have to wrap it up. Angie and Terry both ask, can you describe the scent of Hatshepsut's perfume? So if any of you have ever gone to a shop to buy incense to burn, if you have smelled frankincense, it smells like frankincense, but more sweet. So not as musky, more sweet. So it was frankincense mixed with myrrh and a couple of other things, and that's basically what her smell smelled like.
And she basically got the frankincense and the myrrh from Punt, right?
From Punt. That all came from
Yes.
Punt. Her perfume
That
came from
all
Punt.
came from Punt. Yes.
And if you visit Egypt and you are there, you
gotta
can
visit
go to the
Egypt.
perfume shop and they reproduce the Hatshepsut perfume and you can smell it.
That is true, yes.
So anyway, as I was saying, it's great that we can see the bodies of the queens, see the bodies of the Egyptians, but to smell them, as we said, is something else because you feel like you're there. So this was so much fun, Nouri.
It's always fun with you, Curtis. Yes, always, always. Always a pleasure.
We've gone over time by like 35 minutes, everyone, so I'm so sorry. But that's what happens when me and Nouri are talking all the time. So
thank you.
Yeah.
We will do more of that.
Guys, this will be posted onto Instagram, so everyone who didn't get to see it will see it. So until then, go follow Nouri on her Instagram at the Obelisk Girl. Noura Khedr.
Yes,
Khedr?
or Noura Khedr, yes, yeah. You can add
Yes.
that name as well, Curtis, and tag it, yeah.
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
So everyone can follow Nouri and see all of her stuff. So yes, until we do the next chat, thank you everyone for joining. It was so much fun. Thanks for all the questions. Nouri, thank you again for being you.
Thank you. Till we meet here in Egypt, Curtis. Shukran, right?
Next year I'm coming. I have to.
You have to. Yes, you have to. You're coming, yes. Or I will come to South Africa and come and visit.
Come.
Yes. They just opened the flights and I'm just running.
Yes.
Yes.
Wait, are the flights open to Egypt? Hold on. We'll chat about that on WhatsApp now.
We'll do that. All right, guys. Thank you very much. That was wonderful. Always wonderful to follow Curtis and see what he does. Doing a great job. And we are Egyptology lovers and addicts, and yes, we love that.
And we want to share it. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Nouri, and we will chat soon. Shukran jazilan.
Shukran.
Or as in Egyptian, Nefertari.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam alaikum.
The ancient Egyptian one. Yeah, Assalamu alaikum.
Egyptian, Nefertari.
Salam.